We were invited by the Spanish Federation for this game. Gavi and Araujo, they jumped into the action and into the arms of the fans. That was pretty crazy.
It's a Barca family that you always do.
Kind of nostalgia, no?
Yeah.
We will have guests for sure. How did you get
into Barca?
Yeah, how did you get into Barca? Football, the business, the life before and after Barca and during Barca. And
being really focused on you have to work for things, like you cannot get luck.
Even if we lose in extra time, I'm okay with that because we showed character.
I was gonna ask, do you think this is like the dream job?
Welcome to the Always Be Creating podcast.
Welcome to the Aviv and Georgina podcast, Aviv.
Ui, the first dilemma.
First dilemma, yeah. 10 seconds into and already here.
We're not sure about the name.
We're definitely not sure. I could keep going with other names, but I think I want Aviv and Georgina.
Okay.
I think it works.
I think it also works. I also think Always Be Creating works. Some other names also we've discussed could also potentially work.
I have to say I love Always Be Creating. I think it represents us. But we work in branding, we work in marketing. I think Aviv and Georgina is strong enough.
So either we go with our own names as the brand or a brand as the name.
Correct. We're going to let you choose because we definitely...
We'll let you choose for the first episode. I think we'll go with the first one, generic one.
I think we do rock, paper, scissors.
I think it could work. Rock, paper, scissors. But maybe I would rather have the people choose.
Choose it. Okay.
So, Georgina, welcome.
To
our
podcast, to our first
welcome
episode
to our
of the podcast.
Yeah, first ever episode. We've been speaking about it for years.
Yeah, totally.
Months, years.
And here we are.
And here we are.
Without a name still.
Without a name. So I think the first episode, definitely people know who we are. But for those who don't, Georgina.
So my name is Georgina.
No?
I worked with Aviv at FC Barcelona for a few years. And founded my company after that. So more or less the same as you did.
Company Flatpink.
What
do you guys do?
We do digital content for sports brands, mostly. Some music as well, but mostly sports. We do social media, we do graphic design, we do shooting with players, we do anything social that you might need one day.
Life after Barca was also an option.
Yes.
As we're both after Barca. So
we're going to talk a lot about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a passion. It's a shared passion of ours. It's also, a place that helped us grow a lot.
Totally.
And, we have a lot of experiences and fun stories to tell as well from our time. And we still go to a lot of games. So
most of them.
Yeah, most of the games, as well as the game 2 days ago.
2 days ago, we're gonna get a deep talk into this. But before, why don't you introduce yourself as well?
The Copa del Rey final. Yeah. So myself, I'm Aviv. Also a content creator and host. We worked together at Barca.
Yep.
Shared a good two and a half. I think the overlap was more or less 2.5 years for us. You continued after. And you were there also before. So
what was the year you left? 2021? 22?
End of 21, yeah. So a full 3 years of overlap.
Yeah, full 3 years.
Yeah, full 3 years of overlap.
With the great Rodrigo Faiz at the beginning.
With the great Rodrigo Faiz, and then the new generation, Sarah.
Yep.
Salapur, shout out, and Mai and all the new kids on the block. We're still there, so good for them.
Good for them.
Good for them.
People.
Good for them. Yeah. Why this podcast, Georgina? Why are we deciding to do this podcast?
I think we've been having loads of conversations, especially lately. Hope your phone is not injured.
Happens all the time.
Straight to the hospital. All the conversations about life after Barca, how it shaped the experience there, how it shaped our businesses today, all the knowledge you get from working in an institution like a sports club. I think it's good to be discussed, open about it. And I want to know more about your company, Double Tap, because you didn't mention the name. So what do you guys do?
Double Tap, yeah. So we're here. We're at our offices yet.
Correct.
For lack of a better studio, we're in front of the creators wall. No, it's for me, it's a great studio. Yeah. It's a lot of cameras for the first for the first episode.
What's fine?
Also, I saw to Patricia, who is operating the cameras.
Queen.
We're a talent management agency, and basically, I think in a broader scope, also an agency working in football, working with big content creators / influencers in the world of football.
What content creators do you represent?
Like yourself.
Okay.
Like myself,
Like
but also
yourself.
Celine Dept, for example, Stuntpeg, Fabrizio Romano, and many other fantastic names we have on the wall.
How many talents are you representing at the moment?
I think approximately like 25, 30 exclusively. Not everyone is on the wall at the moment. Yeah. From all over the world. So that's also pretty cool. That's what I like, I think, most about this job. The fact that it's global, and yeah, I mean, everyone is a football content creator. So that's also a very nice niche to have, especially for us. I mean, we're football content creators. What can the people know from this podcast? Like people tuning in now, listening, thinking, and if they have to listen to this podcast. And
I think correct me if I'm wrong, because we've been talking for this for years, you said, but we still don't have a name. And I think we're just gonna freestyle a little bit.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, what you can expect from this podcast is, if you're looking to get one day working in sports, in marketing, in the sports business, if you want to be a content creator, if you just enjoy content, you follow lots of pages, and you want to know a little bit more behind the scenes, what's the interest stories of how these big things get to happen, and all the trips and all the juice behind that, I think this is your podcast. This is where you can find a lot of answers to questions you might be asking around. And I'm not sure if I'm forgetting something.
I think maybe to add to that, so I think definitely all the things you mentioned, but I'm sure that you also receive this question a lot, like on in your DMs or on LinkedIn. But how did you get
into Barca?
Yeah, how did you get into Barca? But also, how do you do? Like, how did you get to do what you do?
Yeah.
And also, how can I get to do what you do? Like, how does one get a job like that?
Absolutely.
And I think we have many football fans around the world who want to work in new media, in this new world, right? Like, I mean, if you really take it back and think about it, like, we had a dream job where you just get to create content with your phone or with a camera, or be behind the scenes and follow your team.
I was gonna ask, do you think this is like the dream job?
For me, it was. For me, definitely it was. And I'm referring to specifically working at Barca. I mean, growing up as a kid who supports Barca, I think we also have like such different backgrounds. I mean, this is your backyard. You're Catalan. You're local.
Totally.
So this was probably definitely also your dream, but localized. I mean, it's also very, even if it's very close, it's still very far because not many people get in. And for me, it was very far, and it also felt very far. But I mean, once you get there, like fast forward, once you get there, I mean, definitely was my dream job. Like, also the moment where I entered 2018, like all the guys that I grew up watching back in 2010, or the Champions Leagues, or before, and then also 2015, like I was still watching as a fan. So Messi, Piqué, Busquets, Suarez, Rakitic, all these guys, they were there when I started working there. So there was a big shift. All the people and all the players that come up now, we've kind of seen coming, like, so it was different, like all the people that came after. So I think working and following for your dream club is definitely the dream job. And then, of course, I mean, it has a lot of aspects that have all the other jobs also have.
Correct, the job at the end of the day.
The job, so get to deal with colleagues.
Totally.
The 9 to 5 maybe. Sometimes.
Or the 9 to 9, or the 24-hour shift.
The 9 to 12, the 9 to 3 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a dream job, especially for people like us, or at least it could have. Well, it was definitely. If you love football, if you love creating, if you're into social media. I mean, social media wasn't even around when we were kids.
No.
I never thought I would have this job when I was 10, because it wasn't even a possibility. Social media didn't exist.
What job did you think you would have?
Not very related to this, but I was thinking more into radio, maybe TV, more behind the camera, maybe more like in the
Journalist?
producing. Yeah, kind of. That's what I studied. I really found out early enough into the degree that I wasn't gonna do this. Like, I'm not an information seeker. I don't really enjoy interviews. Actually, I'm not a big fan of that. But I love communicating. I love creating, and I think I have kind of a business strategic approach to the things I create because I love to understand how people watch and what they consume. So that really got me into social media, the analytics part of it. And that was a perfect plan, no? Wanting to create somehow in sports in Barcelona, as you said, for Barca, because I could see myself as a kid, when I was a kid, as an adult working for the club. And so it was like the perfect match. So yeah, it was a dream job, but it was a job at the end of the day, and it had its downsides as well. And it was a fantastic time. It was great to have you there, and all the memories are there. And I think we should have like a full episode on how we got there.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Like, we will definitely also deep dive
Yeah.
in our time there. Also, maybe on specific things.
I think we should have
Yeah,
guests.
we will have guests for sure. It will be a very mixed, I think, podcast
Yep.
in around everything football.
Yep.
But more than football, the game itself. I mean, we're not going to dissect the games tactically
No.
afterwards, because I mean,
So many podcasts out there, great podcasts.
so many great podcasts. In general, there are a
shows.
lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
There are a lot
Yeah.
of so
Here's
if,
another one.
so if you chose to listen to this one,
Thank you. That's
yeah.
the first thing. The second time the phone falls today.
yeah,
How-
it will. Yeah, phone's gone. No, if you choose to listen to this podcast, thank you, because there's just so many podcasts out there. Like,
Yep.
what do you listen to when you open your Spotify? There's so much choice, and everyone starts his or her own podcast these days. So
Which I love actually.
I think
Because I mean, you're creators.
I know.
They are here because of this. No, it's very important. One thing I love about social media is how easy it is to get in. The barrier is so low. Like, if you wanted to have a TV show when we were kids, like, it was impossible. You had to have like ultra expensive cameras with ultra expensive mics, the lighting. Okay, we have lighting today, but I mean, we could do without. You don't need anything else than a phone, Wi-Fi, and then your ideas are everything. So I think it's cool that people can just get to do podcasts and upload for free. I think it's good for everyone. But yeah, if you chose to our podcast, at least to get you through the day, wherever you're running, driving, at the gym. Where do you listen to podcasts? usually?
Gym, always gym.
Yep.
So I used to
you're
listen
more
on the bike.
Podcast, then that's illegal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, let's
You can't do that.
can do it. We're rule breakers, right? No. I always listen to in the gym. I
No
have like
music.
my 2 3, like I have one football podcast that I listen to,
Mm-hmm.
an Ajax one. And then they kind of vary, like based on topics or things that I like to listen, or people recommend me to listen to something specific. I don't really have one podcast that I'm super hooked on that I listen to everything. For example, one podcast that I know we both listen to is The Diary of a CEO,
Love it.
but I kind of always go based off the titles. I don't
Yeah,
listen to
same.
everything.
No, and the guest does a lot.
Yeah, the guests, and if people have inspiring stories, I tend to listen to them.
Exactly.
I made an attempt once with David, the host, SO to him, to create a podcast to host. It kind of died because we were both on super busy schedules. We were both working at clubs, and we could just never get it to match because, like, I was working at Ajax, he was working at PSG, and with Champions League, we were playing the Tuesdays and he was playing the Wednesdays.
You were never
and
together, right?
We were always never
Also,
together, and it was
yeah.
online. And then it kind of like we had a few, I think maybe like 7 or 8 episodes, and then it kind of like died. So I hope
Let's try.
it won't happen here.
Yeah, let's try, let's
same.
try.
So now I know that we both make time as well, and I think it's also like a passion. I mean, we just said it, like you don't need a lot to create a podcast these days, and I think also we're getting into a world where everyone is kind of becoming their own personal brand. You don't need to be somewhere to become something. You can just be yourself based on your own person.
Correct.
So-
Yeah, that would is really cool. And I think this is what you guys really do at Double
Yeah.
Tap. Like you empower your creators by doing exactly this. Like
Yeah.
whatever your niche is, it doesn't matter. You can find your audience, especially with the algorithms today. You will find someone that loves the same things as you. Your content will find them. You don't have to put all the effort you had to previously for your stuff to reach the right people, the marketing behind that. Now the algorithms will do a big part of that if you know how to do it, obviously. So no, I think it's really nice, and all of this I'm really looking forward to discussing here in the podcast, in the Aviv and Georgina podcast.
Aviv and Georgina podcast. Yeah, we're trying to go. We're going to try to keep it raw. Like,
Yep.
I think as we like as well.
Your run-up show was so different.
Yeah.
From
So my run show. So I have a friend. His friend name is ChatGPT.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. No, I really like to use ChatGPT.
Do you have a nickname for him or her or it or?
No, but I prompted ChatGPT to always call me bro.
Okay.
So I think it's not necessarily a male or female, but just always got me. It always tells me, "You got it, bro."
Do you know
Here you go, bro.
there is like a personality inside ChatGPT? It's called Monday. Have you tried it?
No.
I'm not sure if it's available in the free version, but in the plus version of it, you can use Monday, and it's got a personality and it's very sarcastic, and it does the same job as ChatGPT, but it has a lot of personality when it replies to you, and it's fun.
Okay.
Like for cooking, for example, I always use Monday, and it gets me to do things better. Try at least. It's fun. I recommend you use it.
What's the last thing you cooked?
I haven't cooked I have been traveling a lot, but last thing I cooked, excellent question.
Wow, the fact that you can't remember is worrying.
Let me think. I mean, the last thing I cooked with ChatGPT was a Moroccan tagine.
Oh wow. Okay, so
Boom.
yeah,
Last thing I cooked.
from 0
Maybe
to
that
100
was
real quick.
Because I will never like cook basic stuff. I will just go from buying something or getting some takeout to cooking a Moroccan tagine.
Wow.
What's the last thing you cooked?
I think
Don't say
yesterday.
a TikTok video.
No, yesterday. I think just eggs. But if we go a little bit further than just eggs, I think I cooked a fish on Friday. Like helped cook a fish, which was pretty nice.
You helped.
I helped cook a fish. We can go, if we go back a little bit before, like probably like some meatballs.
I'm trying to think. What's the last thing I cooked?
I don't know. Like also, yeah.
Because the thing is, I have a friend living in my apartment these days. Like she's been there for like 2 weeks. I'm not
She
very.
cooks?
And she takes care of that, and so she's living in my place, and I let her, like, she wants to cook, she cooks.
Oh,
So I'm trying to think.
So she pays rent by cooking.
No.
Okay. So she pays rent and she cooks.
No.
She's not paying rent. And,
I'm never
and she
there.
cooks.
I'm basically never in my apartment. So I was like, yeah, you can crash there for as long as you need, and you want to cook, you just cook. I just do coffee at home. That's my specialty.
I love that, Georgina. How often can people expect our podcast?
Like weekly,
Weekly, yeah.
Twice a month.
Twice a month. Yeah, I think first.
Twice a month is. I think they can expect it regularly, but not with a specific, like not every Thursday or every Tuesday. It's like
Not yet.
Not yet. Eventually,
We're going to try to find our flow at the beginning.
Yeah, I think now there's like I know we haven't talked about football. But I would like to talk about the Copa del Rey final, a little bit of expectation ahead of Champions League semifinals. So there's like a lot of happening in football this month. That's why I love April and May. They are the best months. So I think maybe we can do more episodes these days, and then maybe we can see where life takes us. But stay here, subscribe, leave us reviews, leave us questions and comments on what you would like us to discuss. I think that'd be interesting as well to hear. We could have a Q&A section where we just answer some questions from people. And stay around because we will be creating. We're always...
Definitely. No, so football is kind of the red thread.
Yep.
At this podcast. I mean, it shapes who we are as well, football. But as we said, we won't discuss games necessarily technically and stuff, but we will speak from the passion. So if Barca plays, and we record after or before, which is always basically because we play every 3 days. So there's always like
Finally.
a between, or there's always a before or after Barca. We will always discuss it in our own way.
Correct.
Things that we found interesting, even maybe like pieces of content we found interesting.
Yep.
We'll just
I
discuss
would love that.
and highlight, and maybe even show. So that's cool. So stay for that. And we will speak about everything, about the football, the business, the life before and after
And during.
Barca, and during Barca, and anecdotes and stories, and we will have guests and definitely questions. I mean, I think community is a big part of us as well, no? So
Totally.
whatever people send in, we will always be happy to answer.
I just like a quick note on this, because we don't have a name yet. We technically don't have a handle yet,
No.
but you can check the description of this episode,
Yeah.
because when this is posted, we will know.
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, no, I mean, the first episode, probably
Yeah.
people come in from me or you. So
Correct.
at Georgina Léger, at Aviv Levy, you can text us questions, but also follow our handles there, whatever it will be. Either always be creating or Gigi, do you want Gigi or Aviv, or Georgina and Aviv?
I would prefer Georgina, but I'm good with Gigi. I like it, but nobody knows I'm being called Gigi. The other day I did a post on LinkedIn and everyone was like, what? They call you Gigi? I'm like, yeah. People who I work a lot with call me Gigi. So it's not like very recognizable. The reason why I wanted to go with Aviv and Georgina is because I think our names are like strong on their own. They're not like super usual names together. Like at the end of the day, I think at Barca, like we really were the first faces, the first people to show our face on the digital scope. And there were people before that, obviously, but like the first one that had a consistent, regular basis. So there was like a strategic approach to us being there. And I think the duo, the Georgina and Aviv, the day we went for the Champions League flag in the game against Bayern at the Youth Combined, and you did the "What's up, Barca family" that you always do. Like everyone was like reacting, like bring them back at the good old times, blah blah.
Yeah, it's kind of nostalgia, no?
Yeah, it's
like
nostalgia.
We appeal to nostalgia. Like time goes so fast that it's already nostalgia that we were there.
It's crazy. I can remember the first time you did it. I can remember the first time I saw you. We did a story in San Francisco when you were still not at Barca.
True. Yeah, when I was at 433.
Yeah,
it was during the summer tour of 2018.
2018. Yes, that was my first summer tour with Barca. Yep.
And you gave me a jersey.
Yeah,
we did. Small M. But, we made it happen, and I think that was cool. And then 3 months later, I joined you guys, and then I remember we're going to Fuerteventura with Eric as well. Eric Serra. Fuerteventura, no? It was the theme park, no? There was a theme park.
Portaventura.
Portaventura
is a Canary Island, which is great. No. I think we should discuss the Portaventura.
This is you took me to an attraction park, and I didn't.
I told you it was a theme park with rides.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
I remember two things from that day.
Okay.
I remember one. Aviv stepping out of my car, looking up, massive roller coaster, and saying, "Oh wow, this is Portaventura."
Yeah.
Okay, because he never heard of Google Maps before, never checked it, and okay. And you always sleep in cars.
Fast. It was fast life, to be honest, because so that day when we went to Portaventura, there was when I came to work for Barca, and I came, I think, on a Thursday. I landed, and on a Friday morning we went or something. There was like a puente or whatever, like one of the.
It was Halloween.
One of the 1,000 days off you have per year here in Spain, and it was So we went to Portaventura, and I arrived at night, and in the morning I was already there. So. Yeah.
First reaction. Second reaction.
Second.
Because in this theme park, it's like 1 hour drive from Barcelona. The first roller coaster you find when you enter the park is like one that is basically a launched coaster where you get into it and it goes from 0 to like super high speed in 3 seconds. And you were sitting by my side. And you were, I think, not expecting it.
Did I go in? Yeah.
You got in.
I don't
but
remember
like
this.
minute 1, you might probably block the memory. Minute 1 of game, gets into the roller coaster. Phew!
Denial.
Like, totally, yeah. 30 seconds right, and you arrive like, what is this? And I think you didn't step into a coaster.
No, I think it was one and done.
Yeah.
This was the only one
Yeah.
that I did for sure that day, because I just remember sitting with Sarah,
Sarah, yeah.
Rodriguez,
Yeah.
just sitting and chilling and discussing life and
Somebody has to take care of our stuff because I'm crazy about coasters. I love them. I could go every day.
It was
Like
it was
17
intense.
times.
It was very intense, to be honest. I remember that, and I remember the ride there and listening to reggaeton, and then finding out you don't like reggaeton
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
there.
I mean,
So,
I'm okay listening to it in a car with people socially, but I will never listen it on my own.
yeah, no, I think, and then that's the first time we also did a story when, like, what's up, Barca fans?
Yep.
And yeah,
You were
we have
doing
the story.
your reveal,
Impression.
your announce Aviv video, I think.
So I think I was doing a part of my announce a V video. There was like a whole storyline around it.
It's crazy to think you had this approach already in 2018.
Yeah.
I mean, I think loads of brands nowadays still are not there.
Yeah,
It's crazy, no? If you think it, like, I mean, this is a shout out to you, but obviously, I think a lot of people were pioneering this at Barca at the time.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think this was like almost 10 years ago.
10 years.
Almost.
Oh my
like
god.
7, 8.
So 7 is not
years.
almost 10. Come on.
I mean, it's closer than. Okay.
9 is almost 10. 10 is not. 7 is not almost 10.
7 years. No, I mean, more than 5 is 10 to me.
What makes me feel old? You're 30 already? No.
Not yet.
Wow.
Not
Yeah.
yet.
We don't discuss ages on this podcast.
Yeah, we don't discuss ages.
Yeah, no. That was fun, but definitely we'll get into that, into Barca and how we got there, and exactly stories and announce videos, because that was also for me a really cool one to do.
Mm-hmm. And we have very different stories, which I think is cool for the people. Two different ways to getting into Barca.
We have very different stories, because the first time we've ever met, you remember that day?
Yep, Chelsea.
Barca Chelsea.
1-1. 1-1?
No. 3-0.
Oh, okay. Yeah, correct. The second leg.
The second leg, true. The second leg here in Camp Nou.
Yep.
The first time I've ever met Eric, I think, or the second time I've ever met Eric.
I didn't know
Sarah,
Eric
we're going
at
to.
the time.
No, we were.
I
with
didn't
him.
know him.
We
I
were,
met you before him.
You sure?
Yeah.
No, it was Barca Chelsea, the 15th of March, 2018.
Yeah, no, I met Eric later on.
I think
for sure.
15th of March, or maybe that week before. But definitely round of 16, Champions League. I think I saw you in the mix zone. No.
Because I was working in a different department at the time. I was already at Barca, but I was doing like media and different stuff. I'm living that for the other podcast. But yeah, I didn't know any people from the digital. What's your favorite Barca chant?
This one, I think. Barca.
Okay.
Yours?
I think Un día de partit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit commercialized, this one.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I
it's
think,
very like
and it's very universal as well.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's not even created by Barca, but I love the whole circle behind it. That Un día de partit, magic experience. I want to talk about this one day in the pod.
What I don't like maybe about that song is, like, everyone gets confused, like Al Gol Nord Vachanar, Al Camp Nou Vachanar. Like people like mix it up, and
I didn't know people mix that up.
Yeah.
I thought Gol Nord, no? Because also I'm Gol Sud, so there's like a bit of hate.
That's why. So what do you sing?
I sing Gol Nord, but it's like Gol Nord.
But you don't really, so it's fake news.
Correct. I always go to Gol Sud.
So
even now at Montjuic, I'm Gol Sud. I'm not changing that. I'm very...
Actually, so I used to look up songs before working actually for Barca. And one of the ones that my second favorite thing is like Mil Vicent 99.
Yeah,
Club
I like this one a lot.
Blaugrana, Azul, Culos, Football Club Barcelona.
Paolo the other day was telling me, a friend of ours, he's a Barca and Inter fan, so it's a complicated week for him. He was saying that the chants for Inter are like very like poetry. They are like
Yeah.
they have a lot of meaning, and all of them are like so creative, and verses, and there's like a chorus and everything. And at Barca, it's true that it's all like Barca.
Yeah.
Like our chants are not like that deep. I love them.
No, there is a lot actually. I also at my time at Ajax, Ajax has some crazy songs, like some really like long songs, and also like
Really,
well thought of. Like un día de partida stop.
claro,
Like
it's our
honestly, like it's the yeah
number one chart.
it's a good standard.
Yeah.
But you have other clubs, also Napoli, like they have some nice songs about
See, no,
not
no.
giving up and Napoli's coming back and stuff. And
I think maybe it's Spain because I'm trying to think of clubs that in Spain that have like really crafted with lyrics and music specific to them. And
No.
no, I mean probably there are, but I think it's more of a European thing.
or Argentinian,
Argentina, yeah,
Argentinians
of course.
like Barça mi buen amigo. It's straight out of Argentina.
I think Barca put effort in when attacking others,
Yeah,
like Perico and all of these songs.
yeah.
They have their depth, but they're not chants. I don't like the chants where you're attacking the rival, to be honest.
Depends though, no? Like if it's you want to say
With a
that
cheeky smile.
yeah, it's like I mean rivalry is part of football. Like
Yes, but
also healthy. Like
makes you feel like a bit small, no? When they're like, I don't know.
okay, so boti Madrid Sakino boti, you
That's
don't
it.
jump.
That's it. Yeah, no.
Yeah?
Of course I'm jumping, but
Oh,
that's
so,
it.
so you
Like
jump. So I think it depends, right? So you don't want to go full insult mode.
never.
So like I think respect the rivals, but I think
Yep.
it's always good, I mean, I heard chants.
No, I love rivalry.
I heard chants in the stands, that were a bit aggressive, maybe, and also some that were okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. So the national anthem of Spain, Georgina. No, just
Don't
kidding.
ask me about that.
Next
I
question.
mean, that was actually my
So-
first time as a fan at the final.
Yeah?
I had never. Well, I mean, I was in
Did-
Berlin 2015, but the Copa del Rey, like with friends and all that, that was my first time. And I was looking forward to seeing what it was like, the national anthem between Barca fans.
What's the okay? I understand like it's a national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand all the fuss. I mean, it's a national anthem without words.
What do you mean the fuss? They don't like it, the Barca fans.
No. So
They whistle.
yeah, so it's being whistled, and the Spanish people, they
Lo lo lo. That's a word. We
Yeah.
definitely are not creative people. Our
no.
anthem
So
hasn't
it's
really
it's really
lyrics.
important to the Spanish people, but then it doesn't have any lyrics, so it's just a melody.
The
How can
Catalan
you?
anthem has lyrics.
Hmm?
The Catalan anthem
Yeah.
has
So
lyrics.
so how can you get so insulted if someone boos like a melody? It's basically a melody.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's me. It's my thoughts. Like like my dark thoughts are like, why do people care if it's getting whistled? It's just a melody.
I mean, you wouldn't like, even if it was a melody, to have your national anthem whistled, I think. No?
Yeah, true. But I
like
mean,
the
but the Champions League,
I
even the
was gonna
Champions
say,
League
the Champions
anthem.
League has lyric. I love the Champions League anthem. I love it. I love it. Could be
Yeah, it's a
wedding song.
No, it's a
Do
fantastic
you have
anthem.
your wedding song yet?
I don't have my wedding song yet.
Wow.
We were thinking about it the other day. Like, I really like like the classic like wedding songs and stuff.
Okay.
And Almog is all like, nah, we need something completely out of the box.
Okay.
I haven't put the Champions League one in debate yet.
I think
Like
I mean, at some point, like a remix or something.
no, it will come up for sure.
Yeah, it's brutal.
But now
It's amazing. The old one, by the way.
come on, also us Barca fans, we're a bit post-traumatic now. Like the Champions League anthem
Yeah.
is not really our anthem these years.
No, I agree, but it's still like such a beautiful
It's
song.
beautiful.
Like I could hear it every day. I play it on the piano. Like it flows in me. It's beautiful.
Are you going to create the tune for this podcast?
No. I'm.
You just said you play on the piano.
I mean, I can play the piano.
Like maybe mix a nice
I
intro
don't-
tune.
I'm actually taking music lessons now,
Okay.
which I'm really excited about
What?
because I take guitar lessons,
Okay.
but I also take music theory lessons. So really trying to understand the music, how it works, why we like specific sounds and we don't, which is very me personality of trying to understand the world and how it works. And it's really challenging because I can play some instruments and I sing, but I've never understood before this why it was working or why some things work better than the others. It's really challenging my brain to understand. It's like a different language. It's like it has this mystery, but it also makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really challenging me at the moment. So anyway, all this to say that I think I need to learn a lot before I can actually create something that sounds good. And I want this podcast to sound good. So for the sake of everyone, I will not be creating the tune. I will find, as the ChatGPT Monday edition was saying, like I will scroll for hours and hours into royalty-free libraries until I find something that
Nice.
works.
I still have access to the Barca royalty
Conga.
free. Yeah. If you
Conga.
if you want. No.
Like Conga was a great service. I mean, we hated it a lot when we were there, but it was a great service, I think.
I learned how to vlog like David Saura. Like you will hear a lot of random names during this podcast that you have no
Names
idea who these people are.
They will eventually.
They will become like slowly characters. David Saura.
I think David Saura should come to the podcast one day.
I think so too. He's known for viral tweets.
Yes.
These days.
Did you see the ESPN post?
ESPN. I sent it to you. I sent it to you as well.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
but
no.
Crazy.
And I occasionally I see like a tweet of him like on my timeline with 100,000 likes.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, when he finds like a curious something about the game. Our former boss.
Also had worked at Barca. Now has a life after Barca. Also has
Life after Barca,
his own company. It's like a pattern.
That's why Life After Barca could be like a sub podcast and only have like people who worked for Barca. And
There was an article the other day with a list of names. Don't know
Yeah.
if I sent it to you. Maybe.
yeah, you sent to me. Yeah, Mundo Deportivo.
So many people that have now their own companies and own jobs.
I mean, it's kind of double now because like you have many people who are obviously very talented, but you have also many people who just, have Barca on the CV and then can find the next job because they have Barca on their CV.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, not to get into names, of course, who was more and who was less talented, but that's not the point. GG.
Yep.
Copa del Rey final.
Wow.
We won.
Wow, what a game.
We won.
We won. Wow. That one of the best games I think I've seen. It was a thriller. It had everything. It was
had
great.
everything. It was missing maybe a penalty.
Or two.
SO to the refs. Or no SO to the refs.
I don't want to become Real Madrid television though.
No. Do we want to show? Do we want to start this episode with the 4 times Barca didn't receive a penalty? No. Let's focus on the good. No.
Let's focus on the good.
What a game.
What a game. Like in every aspect of it. Like it was a great experience to be there. First off, I felt really grateful to have had the opportunity to be there. We're talking about this with the people I went with, Barca employees actually, all of them. And we were discussing like what a great time to be alive and to be present and how lucky we are to really be able to go and support the team. But also the game itself, like it had everything. The first half, the absolute dominance. Too bad that we didn't kill the game there, but then the fact that we conceded 2 goals and we were able to come back from that is the strength of this team.
That's exactly what I said as well to
that is, I'm not gonna say it, but that is the why, you know.
No, we don't. We definitely don't have to say it because we don't want to pre-jinx anything that might any possible outcome of this season.
Correct, and we don't want to be clipped and viral on TikTok for that.
We just say what happens.
Yes.
Okay, we don't speak. We don't hope. We don't. We don't project. We don't state anything.
But we manifest.
We flow. Yeah, we manifest, of course, but we don't say what we manifest. Keep your plans secret.
Yep.
That's exactly what I said also to the people I was with at the game.
Who were you with?
I was with Celine, one of our talents, and the biggest YouTuber, the biggest female YouTuber I think in the world. Definitely in sports. I'm not sure if in all categories.
I think she could be. I think she,
45 million subs.
She is
ridiculous.
Which side note is crazy to me that the gap is so big between men and women on social media, but for another day as well. But I wanted to mention it.
No,
it's crazy. No, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that only she's the number one, and she's awesome, and she's like 20 million subs, I think.
No, 45.
45 million subs, and like that's so little compared to the amount of men that are out there on YouTube. Like, how is that even possible?
No, it's crazy. That's definitely a subject for a different episode.
Yep. Yeah, sorry.
But what's
Compadre.
really cool about her is like
No, she's
obviously
amazing.
she hacked like this whole shorts basically algorithm, and she knows exactly what's working. She speaks a universal language, which is not speaking,
Smiling. Correct.
and I think in
She's
this she's
great.
the absolute number one, and she also shows it. And
Absolutely.
we were invited by the Spanish Federation
Mhm.
for this game, and yeah, we didn't know if we're going to be pitch side or just in the stands, so that's why I didn't mention anything. And actually, we were pitch side, so it was like living, like it was like really rolling
Flashback.
back the years, yeah, about sitting on the pitch for a Barca match. Obviously, last year, I know last season we were in touch a lot. Like we were texting when I was pitch side at Ajax. I'm like, yeah, you never know when you will receive your last accreditation.
Yeah, you
It's
said
always
that.
like
It stuck with me.
like a bit of a mind. Like a bit of a crazy thing as people come in.
Yep.
So you never know when your last accreditation is, and for this one, like to be pitch side, was actually a really cool experience, especially because our last final there in La Cartuja in the same
Totally.
stadium in
Yep.
Sevilla was a total different experience.
We are good luck charms. We were not the problem.
We were definitely not the problem. I'm not sure if we were good luck charms, but we were definitely not the problem.
No,
but
totally.
the last final was a different experience if you look at it. COVID years, Corona,
No, I had nothing to do with that.
no fans.
So sad.
What they
yeah.
also did with La Cartuja is really nice. How they filled up the seats.
Really, yeah. The Cartuja has been renovated. Has a lot more seating now, and it's beautiful done. Like it's. I was very positively surprised. Like I had heard that it was very cool inside, but I think I think it's a good stadium to host a final. Like I had a lot of hate for
Yeah.
it because like we've been to La
Yeah,
Cartuja
with the
many
running track.
times with the running track around. Like running tracks are great to work. Like if you're working, but
Lot of
for
space.
fans they're terrible. But yeah, so different to the 2021 final last Messi Trophy. So different.
Really,
I was
really, really
so
different.
sad. Like I watched footage of that final the days prior, the vlogs that we posted and all that, and I was like, so depressing.
It was really depressing actually because
Like in the moment it was sad, but I think now it's even more. Like when you look back, it's like
we were not conscious. Obviously, we were not conscious that it was sad at the times because we were just like in the middle of the COVID routine. So you were already trying to you were already getting used to empty stadiums, right?
Yeah.
So another empty stadium was like whatever. And
I had forgotten what it was like. I think
if you see Saturday, like half stadium white, half stadium blaugrana. It was
Gallina de piel.
Yeah, pel de gallina, no?
Yeah, but
Cruyff, gallina de piel. Yeah, so I was like reverse
Yeah,
it.
for you.
I reversed it.
You
yeah.
reversed it, correct.
No, so I wanted to say Cruyff, but you already said it. Yeah, so no, it was just the atmosphere was amazing, and I think
Crazy.
Madrid fans were a little bit like maybe even down a bit before the game because of everything that happened the days before with the refs and stuff. We won't get into it, but the Barca fans were just loving it. I mean,
Totally.
you were also in Valencia, no? In Mestalla.
Well, it was in Benito Villamarin, but
Yeah,
against Valencia.
Benito Villamarin.
Yes,
Valencia.
but I was working. Like these days also I was thinking, okay, this is my first final. Not working. This year has been the first full year that I've been going to games not working. And I've been enjoying it so much.
Yeah.
Like it has nothing to do. Like I appreciate David Saura a lot. As Aviv said, our former boss. But not having him text me like 50 messages during a game was really a cool experience. Like not working, being able to do whatever you want. It is final. I didn't even create content.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not letting the screen or my phone leave the game for me. Like I am feeling it. I am there. I am with my people. I'm trying to enjoy the game. And I was filming because it's just inside of me. I cannot.
Yeah, it's
I cannot get Yeah, it's
it's
an
a
instinct.
reflex.
It's a reflex for me, and I still was filming some stuff, but I definitely was not like I will do a vlog, and I had this content plan in my head, like I will do 3 TikToks, and I just wanted to enjoy my first final as a fan because it's so much better,
Yeah,
so much better. Like I'm looking forward to hopefully more. Well,
yeah.
the women final for sure.
I was going to mention it actually because I saw 5 stories from you. Myself, I also kind of I didn't know like that I wanted to like fully watch the game, so I kind of found out like before the game, when I started like doing some pre-match content, and then I thought, wait, I'm not going to be sitting here and spending time like editing my stories and posting. Also, we didn't have any obligation, so this
Correct.
also like, okay, I'm not going to be on Instagram or my phone or whatever. But yeah, that instinct of like every time like something happens, like you grab your phone, you
Yes.
film yourself, the reaction and stuff. So
Yeah.
I did have a lot of content, but like from 30 minutes before the game to I think 2 hours after the game, where I did just posted like what a crazy night. I didn't post anything. I just like also enjoyed the moment, and I saved everything for the day after. And yesterday I knew I had a 7-hour train trip back from Sevilla to Barcelona, so I knew that
How
if I
was
wanted to post
your?
stories,
Yeah.
I can post stories there. So I posted 20 stories yesterday, like a good old days Barca recap
Totally.
the day after, and
Totally.
yeah,
Totally.
and all of a sudden you can also get more creative. I feel when you can build like your storyline for
No,
yourself. And
definitely, definitely. That's a good topic for another content, for another episode, like planning versus improvising. So I'm always on the improvising team in general, but like especially in live shows and all that. But I think you cannot really get creative because you have like a split second to post, and you have to post 40 stories in the same night, the same game. So you really have to like you don't have the time to get really really creative with that unless you plan ahead or you just post after. So in your case, I see like posting after you can really get more into the detail of it. It was fun. Yeah, for me it was like a vacation. Like I still wanted to create, and I cannot get the creative outside from me. Like I film, I take pictures of the people around me, but it was really I was doing it for the fun, not for like posting because I had the need, whether because it was work or because I was like for personal content, but it's also work in the end
or
for
with a
me.
brand.
Well, exactly, for me that is a job. Like I
Yeah, you have
cannot
to deliver.
fully I have to deliver. Exactly, I cannot fully enjoy like if I want to do nothing, if I want to drop my phone, if I want to do whatever, like I can do it. I don't have to like work or yeah. No, it was a great experience. Great experience.
For me, it was still like a bit different because with the accreditation, I also
Yeah.
went to the press center.
Yeah.
So in the press center, you come across all familiar faces
Of course.
from back in the days where we were walking the press centers. If it's journalists or even like the guys from Real Madrid TV, and I told them thanks for coming, and they were like they were looking at me with like a cheeky smile, like you bastard, like always like always on edge, always like trying to troll people. And they said, "Yeah, you guys are going to win it." I said, "No, no, no! Don't give me that! Don't give me that!
Don't
I
give
don't want,
it.
I don't want this like."
Pressure.
Yeah, but also the favoritism. This is something I didn't like before the game. Like we were like overly favored, and
Yes.
we like to be like a bit like not. I wouldn't say the
The
underdog, but
dog, yeah,
always like
yeah.
realistic, maybe slightly pessimistic. Just in
Yes.
case the worst thing happens. So this whole like you're the favorite rule didn't
No,
like
no,
at
no,
all
no.
because
We are not Real Madrid.
at the corner when Chouameni made that corner, I thought, oh fuck, here we go again. But then
No.
this is what I said to my friends. I said, even if we lose in extra time, like I'm okay with that because we showed character. We made a 2-2. We came back into the game. We showed that okay, they're not just going to score 2 goals and win it. No, we came back into the game and after that we even showed more character. I mean,
Totally. And
a
it's not
fantastic group of guys, huh?
exactly that. That's what I've been thinking a lot this season. Like this is not the first time that it's happened. Like it's really cool that it's happened in a final and against Real Madrid, which is like the best scenario where the team can show this character. But it's happened before during Liga games. It's happened with Champions League moments where you come back, and it helps build this strength and this belief, obviously. But yes, I 100% agree with you. I don't like the favorites tag. I like to be realistic and more, yeah, it's not realistic, it's not pessimistic, it's not the underdog, but it's like being really focused on you have to work for things. Like you cannot get lucky. Like Barca, when they win finals, it's always because they've played well or they've like put their everything. Like I don't think Barca gets lucky in finals or in seasons where they get championships.
Yeah. I also don't think I think we have to work always twice as hard.
Yep.
And I also put like a story of like against everything and everyone, and that really also felt this way. Last 3 years for work, I had to attend 3 Champions League finals, and I've seen Madrid lift 2 trophies, and that was not as great. So I'm happy that won't happen this year.
One Guardiola at least. You had one Guardiola.
I had one Guardiola, yeah, true. But then also the 2 like Madrid ones were like, why? Why?
No,
like,
no,
why do I have to be here? You know.
With the Dortmund.
We just pretend like there was no game.
You didn't go pitch side after the final last year, right? You were with me at the Heineken.
Yeah, we were just chilling. No, so
so hard.
What I also liked about this game is because being pitch side, like some players jumped over the LED boards.
Yeah.
Gavi and Araujo, they jumped into the action and into the arms of the fans.
That was
and
so cool.
Like your instinct is 100%. The phone is out. You're there. You're filming.
Where were you sitting during the game exactly? Like, what was your position?
Left from the goal.
Which goal?
So the Barca goal.
You moved.
No, I stayed there the whole game.
So
in front
which
of the
Barca
fans.
Goal? In front of the Barca fans. Okay.
In front of the
okay, Barca goal as in. Okay.
I was there the whole game, so I saw the Ferran Torres goal, but also the Koundé goal was also scored on our goal.
Yeah,
and
again,
people jumping all the time, like on our side. So that was pretty crazy. But then there was a moment,
cool.
like
so cool,
really at the end of the final whistle, where everyone just came celebrating with the Barca fans, and I took my phone out and I started filming, with the lovely 0.5, where you can just do like this.
I knew you were gonna say.
And it takes everything, and it films everything, and it was such a nice moment because this is, I think, also a bit of the contrast. This is why, like, the position I was in on Saturday is probably like won't happen again, or will happen very few times. But the fact that you can sit there and basically not do really any work, I was just accompanying them.
Totally.
I was just chilling.
That is a dream job.
Yeah, that is actually the dream.
You totally out.
That moment, that little time frame.
Absolutely.
I saw Sarah and Mai.
Yeah. I saw them on TV.
And they were
after in the highlights and stuff.
Sarah, Mai, and Uri, and they were like grinding, like, and I saw in their eyes like the stress that we had.
No, of course.
When we were working, of I'm recording, I'm posting, I'm sending, I'm recording, I'm posting, I'm talking, I'm communicating.
Things have to be checked, validated. You cannot make mistakes. Like you film, you post, nothing's gonna happen.
Cares, no.
But if you're posting from the club account, like what if there's something in the background or there is a fan that is saying something? Like you need to check everything. Like you need to like take care of a lot of things.
Anything you liked particularly from the content after the games?
To be honest, I haven't, like, yesterday I tried to, like, I watched immediately when I came back. Like, I came back after the game. I watched the game highlights, like extended version of it. AI powered. I found on YouTube first video, 12 minutes, perfect. That gave me a good highlight video. I wanted to relive the game because I really enjoyed it. And also I hadn't seen the trophy lifting moment because I had to leave the Cartuja before that.
Because you had to fly, no?
Because I had to fly, yes.
So when did you leave the stadium?
After the Koundé goal.
Oh, wow. So you were not even sure if Barca was going to win it?
I mean, yeah, no, I wasn't sure.
But probably when walking out, like the game already finished.
The penalty offside situation that happened after the Koundé goal, like I didn't see. So I left Koundé scores, celebration, hug my friends, say goodbye. I run outside the Cartuja. The thing is, I had to be at the airport at 3. I had to go by my hotel to pick my bag and everything. And I had a Uber waiting for me at 1. I had to postpone it 15 minutes, but I didn't want to be late at the airport under any circumstance because I needed to get back home, obviously. And I have like a lot of PTSD from Barcelona of getting taxis and getting to the airport in Barcelona. It's like so hard. The mobility, I think, is terrible. In general, it was very bad at Camp Nou. It is awful at the youth compounds now. But in general, the city, like mobility-wise, I don't think it's great. And I'm always very stressed when I go to other stadiums on how will I get back. So I had the pressure to get to the airport, and I had to leave. So I'm running out of the Cartuja, and I knew it was like 40 minutes walking. It can be easily 20 minutes running, good speed. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna run with my fancy bag and my fancy outfit, and I'm just gonna run like I'm running. And I hear I had the radio on, but obviously there's some delay, like 30 seconds, and I hear like people like screaming. You don't really know what's happening. And I hear on the radio it's a penalty for Real Madrid. I'm like, there's no way. This must be like 119 minutes.
Did people sing at you? Like, esos que se van, ¿de qué equipo son?
No, I took pictures with people randomly on the outside of La Cartuja. Hi, can I take a picture with you? I'm like, I'm running to the airport. Can you see me? Like, I'm literally running. I was running, and no. There were Madrid fans leaving already. I was lucky to find a taxi, went to the hotel, picked up myself back to the airport, and got to my flight. I was really scared that I wouldn't be able to come back. So yesterday I wasn't like checking all the content because I wanted a day of vacation before today, because it's going to be a very busy week for me work-wise with Flat Pink, and I wanted to like detox and not watch a lot. So from after the game, like I've seen the pictures and I've seen the videos, but I haven't seen any creative content that I would say, but probably because I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it's not there. I just haven't come across it.
Salty.
Have you?
I haven't actually. I haven't seen
Maybe
anything.
there
I haven't
isn't.
actually seen any creative. I think the angle that David Saura had like was nice. Like back in
Of
the
the
days, like
kids.
people, like the players took pictures with their kids, and now the
Courtesy
kids
parents.
took pictures with their parents. So I think that was a nice angle to look at it. First episode in.
Yep.
Always Be Creating podcast, or
Aviv and Georgina.
we're still not jury's not out on the name. So
Final
help us.
speech on why should it be always be creating.
I don't care, honestly. I don't care. I like both. I like both equally. Like we created always Be Creating handles. I think it's fine. I mean, it's like I think also time and the people make a name, right? Like now, don't think you should give too much importance to a name. So yeah.
Did you give the name Double Tap?
Yeah.
That's a good name.
But also there were other 20 names like that were in contention, and then we kind of, what I did, I sent them to my 10 best friends and asked them to pick 3. And Double Tap was the one consistently coming back in all of them.
You have
and
10 best friends?
Huh?
You have 10 best friends?
No, like 10 good friends. 10 good friends. 10 BFFs. 10 good friends. So, and then Double Tap was the one coming back. How did you pick Flat Pink?
I didn't pick it. I'm very bad at naming.
So who picked
Very
it?
bad. Well, I mean, I made the final pick, but Eric Serra.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a good name. And since
It's very
that day you only
different.
wear pink.
I wear pink all the time, and I order flat whites all the time. So it's like the perfect.
Flat pink.
Flat
That's
pink.
good.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's unique.
It's very different, and it's very. I wanted
Out of the box.
for another episode. The other names.
I think the sound was good, no?
The sound.
The sound of this podcast.
I don't know. I'm not hearing it. So,
Like,
like,
I'm pretty sure
was it good?
I'm pretty sure it's good. I also know why. It's probably because of these Shure
You're very
microphones.
sure.
I'm very sure. The sound was good. No,
I hope the words.
Big shout out to Shure for setting us up with this nice microphones.
Mhm.
Make our sound crispy, hopefully. Any last words, Georgina? What should the people at home do? If they're now like you always have three types of people, no? Like people who like this episode, people who didn't like this episode, and people who are contemplating if they like this. What do we tell the people who are contemplating?
We tell them to try to follow us on the handles that we still don't know, but you can find us somewhere and just follow us there. And wherever you're listening to, wherever you're watching this, just hit the subscribe button and comment, share with your friends. Like if you're into marketing, if you're into uni and want to learn a bit more about behind the scenes, share this around. I think there are good insights, not from us specifically only, but from people who will be on the podcast and you can learn. And I hope to be here again next week ahead of Milan, maybe.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, for sure. Whenever we can, we will record. So for sure.
For sure. Okay. That's it. That's wrapped.
Okay, thank you. Bye.